The most important concept you need to master in 2026 is clean core. For decades, we ruined SAP systems by injecting custom code directly into the heart of the ERP. When it came time to upgrade, everything broke. SAP BTP is the cure for this. But how does it actually work in practice? We call it side-by-side extensibility. Instead of writing an ABAP program inside S/4 HANA, you build your application on BTP using the Cloud Application Programming Model, CAP. Your ERP remains clean while your innovation lives in the cloud. Think of it like an iPhone. Apple provides the OS, the core, and you build your apps on the App Store, BTP. The OS can update every year, and your app keeps working because it uses standard APIs. Today, if you aren't thinking in APIs and OData, you aren't doing SAP development. You're just delaying the inevitable collapse of your system's upgradability. You know what SAP BTP is? You've seen the diagrams, you've heard the marketing pitch about the digital centerpiece. But let's be honest, knowing what a hammer is doesn't mean you can build a house. In our last BTP video, we covered the what. Today, we are covering the how. We are currently in February 2026, and the game has changed. We are no longer just talking about cloud integration, we are talking about Agentic ERP, the era where your SAP system doesn't just store data, but acts on it using AI agents. If you are still trying to customize your S/4 HANA core with old school Z programs, you are building a legacy nightmare. In this video, I'm going to show you how to move from a BTP beginner to a BTP Architect. We will explore the Joule integration, the new AI foundation, and specifically how you can build a side-by-side extension that survives the next decade of SAP updates. If you want to be the person who delivers real innovation instead of just maintaining old code, this is for you. Welcome back to SAPify Academy. One of the biggest updates in the last few months is the maturation of SAP Build. We've moved past simple low-code/no-code. In 2026, SAP Build is a powerhouse that allows functional consultants to act like developers without getting lost in complex syntax. But let's look deeper at the why. The traditional bottleneck in SAP projects has always been the translation between the business requirement and the technical execution. A functional consultant knows the business process but can't code. A developer can code but doesn't understand the nuance of a credit memo or a goods receipt. SAP Build destroys this wall. Using SAP Build apps and build process automation, you can create a mobile-ready interface that triggers an N8N workflow or a BTP business service in days, not months. Imagine a warehouse scenario. Instead of a complex custom Z transaction, you build a sleek Fiori-style app using drag-and-drop components that connects directly to your S/4 HANA or data services. You can add logic to scan barcodes using the phone's camera, validate the stock levels in real time, and trigger an automated email to procurement if the stock is low, all built within a single unified environment. This is where your B2B value skyrockets. When you can show a client a working prototype on Monday that you started on Friday, you aren't just a consultant, you are a solution provider. Furthermore, we're seeing the introduction of pro-code features in Build that bridge the gap. You can now start a project with visual blocks, and when you hit a complex logic requirement, switch to a professional JavaScript/Java environment within the same tool. This fusion development model means that the citizen developer and the professional developer are finally working on the same team, on the same code base, eliminating the silos that have plagued SAP projects for 30 years. Let's talk about the brain of BTP, the AI foundation. In early 2026, SAP made a massive push to allow companies to bring their own large language models, whether it's GPT-4, Llama 3, or specialized enterprise models, into the BTP environment safely. This isn't just about having a chatbot. This is about Joule combined with your specific high-value business context. Imagine an AI agent that doesn't just know how to write an email, but knows your specific vendor lead times for the last 5 years, your historical sales fluctuations in the EMEA region, and your internal compliance rules for high-value contracts. By using the generative AI hub on BTP, you can build extensions that do the heavy lifting for you. For instance, you can feed thousands of PDF contracts into the system, and the AI can instantly summarize which ones have force majeure clauses that are out of date based on new 2026 regulations. The biggest breakthrough we've seen this year is the Vector Engine in SAP HANA Cloud. This is the secret sauce. Traditional databases search for keywords. The Vector Engine searches for meaning. It allows these AI agents to remember and reason with your corporate data by turning business documents into mathematical vectors. When Joule answers a query, it isn't guessing. It's retrieving specific grounded information from your secure HANA database. And for my B2B clients, the sovereign cloud boundary is the clincher. Your data never leaves the SAP ecosystem to train public models. You get the power of generative AI with the security of a private vault. You are essentially building a private super intelligent advisor that grows smarter with every transaction your company completes, without ever leaking your competitive advantages to the public web. So where do you start? The landscape is vast, and it's easy to get overwhelmed by the hundreds of services in the BTP Discovery Center. If you've already watched my What is BTP video, your next steps in 2026 must be strategic, not random. First, you must master CAP, the Cloud Application Programming Model. This is the gold standard for building enterprise-grade services on BTP. It forces you to use the clean core philosophy from day one. If you understand CAP, you understand the future of SAP development. Second, get comfortable with SAP Build. Even if you are a hardcore ABAP developer, ignore low code at your own peril. Knowing how to leverage visual tools for the UI and process automation will save you hundreds of hours of manual coding, allowing you to focus on the complex business logic that truly adds value. Third, you need to explore the generative AI hub. Don't just play with it, understand how to connect it to your data via APIs. The consultants who know how to prompt engineer within an SAP context will be the highest paid professionals of the next decade. At Sapify Academy, we are building a community of architects who aren't afraid of this shift. We've moved past the era of maintenance and entered the era of innovation. Down in the description, I've linked my newly updated BTP Architecture Blueprint 2026. This isn't just a PDF, it's a 90-day execution roadmap that takes you from I've heard of BTP to I can design an AI integrated cloud extension. The 2027 ECC deadline isn't a threat, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to shed the legacy baggage and become a modern architect. Subscribe to stay at the cutting edge, and leave a comment below. What is the one BTP service you are most excited or most confused about? Let's figure it out together. I'm your host, and it's time to stop watching the future and start building it. See you in the next one.